what's up, everybody? It's part two of my album reviews. I'm sorry, that was like a lost chain of thought type thing. But anyway, what we gonna be looking at today? You seen the title, Datin, the Who Do You Believe 2. Um, I will say this is, I don't know if this is a full album because it's only 7 tracks. So I don't know if this is an album or not, or is this a mixtape? Um, I stepped away from the Christian game for a while, Christian rap game for a while, because I didn't like the direction that it was going. And I came back, and I'm gonna tell you right now, we got some artists that really, who held it down from the beginning of me listening, that still are. And then some of them who switched up is the reason I kind of left it. But I'm back in and I'm doing reviews and things of that nature, and I want to talk about Datin. Because I got some things to say about Datin. Anyway, let's get into it. So Datin, I've been listening to Datin for a while, man. But it's always been because of God Over Money. Because of God Over Money. When the first time I heard him was, let me see if I can find which one I heard. This is hilarious. Datin is crazy. I'm sorry, I'm on Apple Music, and he had this cover called Datin Found, and it's in the I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is, I'm laughing, but I'm mad about it. But anyway, let's get back on it. Anyway, let me get back to where I was. So The Roar is the first thing I heard from him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was, this is gonna sound like hating, but it was mid to me. I didn't really rock with it. And you know, that's nothing against him. Solid album. It's just, at the time, I was just jamming a whole bunch, and then somebody was like, you need to listen to this Datin. And I was like, all right, put it in there. Nothing like popped off to me, so I just left it alone. So then the Menace mixtape came out. I thought it was great again, but nothing really stood out to me. So I put him as like, man, that dude cold. I like him, but I never really jammed him like that. And so by the time I started to get like a bad taste in my mouth about Christian rap, he came out with Hell in the Hallway. And I didn't even listen to it. I'm sorry, I'm honest, I just didn't listen to it. I was like, this is about divorce. I'm good. I was like, I'm sorry to say that, but I was like, I'm good. I'm all right. You know, I don't really want to listen to it at all. So I didn't listen to it, you know. So I feel bad. So I was like, I need to give Datin a chance. Now I did purchase, because I'm old school, we buy stuff. I don't stream stuff around here, you know what I'm saying? I got hard drives on hard drives because I buy my music. I'm old, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, CHH ain't dead. Go watch my video where I talk about CHH and where it failed. He's one of those trying to keep it alive, I could say. But anyway, CHH ain't dead. I bought that album, and I guess he was just trying to get a whole bunch of people who are in it, especially those, and I was just like, all right, whatever, it's dead. But it's not dead. I'm hating. It's not dead. It's just, it's tainted. That's what I would say. That's the best way of saying it, is that it's tainted. I don't think anything can die when God's name isn't. I think the devil never destroys anything that he wants to destroy, but because it's God, I don't think he can. He doesn't have the power to. He wants to, and he forces us to, but I don't think he can destroy. So what, CHH is never going to die, but it is super tainted, and that's the problem. But anyway, that's a whole nother story, and I have a video titled Why CHH Christian Rap Has Failed, you know. So if you want, go check that out and see what I'm talking about with that. But anyway, let's get back to this because I'm wasting time. Datin came out, Who Do You Believe 2. And so Datin he's a barsmith. I like how he can really, you know, he knows how to put bars in, and he has a style that when he rapping, you know it's Datin, you know it's Datin. So Hold On to Faith was an amazing track. I loved it, the way that the bar played. It was really into it. I love that song. Really good one. I'm gonna give it a big thumbs up. So it was a good track. I don't even know. Maybe it was the chorus that Andrew Sadra was on. I don't know. I didn't even know he had a feature. Maybe it was the chorus. I didn't even pay attention to it or anything. But anyway, the next track. The next track, Connivers. Controversy. I can't even, because it's YouTube, I can't even speak on what the contents was really about. But I will say, I showed my wife, because my wife kind of thinks like him, definitely thinks like him. And she was like, speak, my brother. Connivers was, I would say I laughed the whole time listening to it, but it was serious, and there's a lot of things on there. That's talking about with the cough, the sneeze that happened in 20 on up, so anyway, that one, that way, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, track 3, Speak No Evil. So Speak No Evil, and I forgot to say this, I know that I'm late on reviewing this album, but like I said, I'm just getting back into Christian rap. So anyway, Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil, he loved this Jess Norris, because she's in like 2 of them. She's in Speak No Evil, and then there's 350. I want 350. I shouldn't even put that in there, but his name is 350, it's... Anyway, I'm not even going to explain that one. But anyway, let me get back. So, Speak No Evil, nice. That song went in. 350 is one of those melodic rappers, so he didn't really, he was saying some good stuff, though. All right, let me stop hating. He was saying some good stuff, but it was all melodic type rap, so it really was, he wasn't dropping bars, he was just dropping melodic rap. That's what I call it. So anyway, that song was nice, though. Weight of Words. Now, that one irked me a little bit, but I think the reason why it irked me was because I had just listened to Eshawn Burgundy's album, and I think that we have selected, I think that the one thing that the pandemic and the rise of BLM did was it made race relations so bad. This is one of the reasons I walked away from the faith. I said the faith. Did I just say that? Scratch that out. It's one of the reasons I walked away from CHH and Christian rap. It's one of the reasons, because a lot of my artists were choosing skin over Christ. They were choosing their skin over Christ. They actually went with people who actually don't even believe in God, and went with them over people who believe in God, because the people who believe in God wasn't their skin color, and so they automatically labeled them as adversary. And the way that they talk, they implied so that you couldn't. They implied it so you couldn't just outright call them that. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, but you hear what they be saying? Stuff like that. The way that political stuff is done now. But what about them? Instead of handling what they just said about you. Let's say you stole $100,000, right? In political sphere, but the person who was against, he had a case where right now he stole $1 million, right? They'll be like, we're talking about him because he stole $100,000. You got this guy, what about him? Now, the case is, yes, they need to do both of y'all. But did you not just steal 100K? But anyway, I said all that, the reason why is because I want to talk about weight of the words. There was a part in there, I hate when, and just to put context to this, I hate when we put one down to pick one up. And it kind of sounded like he was doing that on this song, because he said rappers have white kids from the suburbs listening to your music, and then they go back to the suburbs, while black people in the hood, they listening to your stuff and they doing what? Do anybody knows what kind of caused the rise in drug use in white suburban kids within the last 10 years? Do you know what made the aggression and pure lunacy that is percolating through suburban white kids, violence that is in suburban white kids? Is it racism? Or is it maybe because they love rap so much that it didn't matter what skin color was? When you have that type of venom going through the speakers, it affects them a different way. So of course they went back to the suburbs. But little Jimmy over here is stealing his mama pills because they popping pills on the album. So you got another drug head that nobody who is doing Christian movements that is of this skin color will care about them, because we have our own people. And I hate that, because he put white people down right there to pick up the people in there, because he's like, you got to help your people. And like I said, help your people, but don't mention the white kid. Like, why is the white kid taking strays? Why do the white kids got to take a stray? Oh yeah, white people listen to your stuff, then they go back to the cushy hood, the cushy suburbs, the cushiness. Rich people are talked about in the Bible more than any other. Why? Because rich people are the ones who are going to suffer the wrath more. Why? Because they put their trust in money. This is the reason why we got to stop neglecting them just because they got money. Because more money, more problems. And I'm sorry I'm ranting on that, because it was just one bar. But I think that's what permeated in a lot of music that made me walk away from CHH. We group people in a specific way, and we do not take the whole. And just like I said, I may be doing this because I listened to Eshon Burgundy and he had me hot because the way he was doing things, but I just think that we need to get off of this put one down and pick one up. And maybe that's just the reason, the taint that's in CHH, you know? Maybe that's just the taint. But anyway, I like Weight of the Words, but that part irked me a little bit. So, you know, it is what it is. And then Found, and you know, I'm gonna tell you right now though. Bats. When I heard that song Found, I went on a crusade to listen to everything Bats had to put out. That guy is talented. If he stays on the right trajectory, he can be one of the best in the game. Bats, I don't see any album that he ever did. It's just a whole bunch of singles. I was about to say like a strip club, but let me stop. He just has a whole bunch of singles, but they all are bangers. Like, I listened to 2024. I listened to Southern Hospitality 1 and 2. Man, he has a whole bunch of good tracks in there. I would say Bats is, man, he's another one, a killer, man. If he stays on the path of Christianity. And I will say thank you, Datin, for introducing me to him. Yeah, I wanted to look back into CHHA Dead to see if he was in there, and I just look over him, and he wasn't in there. So, because I thought a lot of people were in there, I just didn't care about. But Bats is killing. Oh man, Bats, come out with an album soon. I want to review that because you are a wordsmith. He actually, to me, did better than anybody else on that track. I will say Datin always held his own. No More Tears, that was a good track. It was kind of based off of his other album, because it was talking about how his girl cheated on him, and I think that's what it said. I think he said that. And left him and took everything, and he was living with his mama, and he felt like all the people were just like, told you so, you know. And then he said, but I'm not crying no more, and all that. And then the outro was a banger. Ooh, man, the production. And I gotta say, Marty, is that Marty from Social Misfits that's killing these productions? But anyway, so outro is killer. Now, there's one thing that I hold against Datin, and I hold it against him because he's the egregious with it. And I'll end with this. I rate that album a 9 out of 10 because it is an awesome album. No, an 8 out of 10. And I'm going to tell you why. An 8 out of 10. It could have been a 9 to 9.5 to almost a 10. But there's things that I hold against him. The first one was the bar that I talked about. The second thing is because he is what I think is the problem with CHH. We're too much like the world. And just look at the cover. That's Nas's album. Even to the font, the face. Why? And he did another one, the one I was laughing about, where he was doing like off of Cash Money and No Limit, where it was called Found. I guess it's based off of, it was a single from this one, where he's using the Cash Money. I think that's No Limit, because he has the shades and the cigar. Or is that that's like a glass of champagne, maybe? I don't know. But it's, I think we're too much like the world. Like, why don't we have so many pioneers in this Christian rap game. When he mentions, I think he mentioned one of the rappers. I think he said Pac or somebody. He mentioned the old school rapper. And I'm like, why do we always mention these people? We have pioneers in the game. Do we not listen to their music? Do we only listen to secular music? Can we lift up our brothers who was pioneers in the game? How come nobody quotes what Ambassador said, what The Truth said? Heck, even early Reach said. Why don't we recognize our people who was before us? Why don't we spoof their covers? Why don't we do that? Why? Because we're so ingrained with secular. I have a problem with that. So when he does these covers, I guess it's a play on it, but all it does is get people to say that Nas album, I still jam to this day. Should we? Should we be jamming that Nas album as Christians? Don't we have grace from sin? Should we keep sinning? Surely not, because we are new creatures. That music is old, so why even promote it in any kind of way? I'm sorry for ranting, but I hate that to my core. I hate that it's we who are saved from things like that. Like, for you to talk about the weight of words, do you know what Nas' words in that album was full of? It was full of a lot of visceral that we as a people have been suffering with for years, and here you are putting it out as your album cover, but I guess you're going to redeem it for Christ. I don't know. I find it bad taste. That's all it is. So because of that, I rate that album an 8 out of 10, because I cannot, it's all Christian, but it's like, to me, it made me as mad as when Andy Mineo made that song with Coming In Hot with Lecrae. I cannot stand that song. Whereas I feel like Biggie, I feel like Pac. Like, of all the people you could have picked as Christians. But that's always been my problem with Christian, and the reason why I kind of stepped away. We're so much like the world, and I wanted to be more like Christ. And when the pandemic was going on, and I just see so many people be turning into emotions and turning into vitriol against others, one side versus another, and none of them was speaking Christian. None of them was speaking Christ-like. Everybody built division. I just stepped away because I started to see it pour out in music, and it just was not my cup of tea. So anyway, I'm ranting. Shout out to Datin. 8 out of 10 is where I rate it. Y'all tell me what y'all thought of it. And I'm sorry for ranting like this. It's just that album cover just set me off. I was just like, so sorry about that, Datin. You took a little blunt out of it. You got to blame Eshawn for that. But then again, this is OHM, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.